Okay, so closed loop pulse propulsion. Um, what is this? Um, it's kind of difficult to explain, but it's a new form of propulsion that does not um, expel mass. And what does that mean? There's no uh, there's no explosion or anything that causes something else to move. It just uses its own internal movement, which is, supposed to be impossible. And that's kind of what I'm making this video for, so I can show you exactly how it works, why it's not really impossible, and what we can kind of do with it. So without further ado, one second. Okay. So without further ado, I kind of want to show you the book. So let's go ahead and hide that and open the book here. Okay, so here's my book, Closed Loop Pulse Propulsion by Michael Lewis, published in June 2024. I had AI write the foreword, and I just want to say something here. Um, uh, the principles underpinning closed loop pulse propulsion are based on well-established laws of physics, specifically the conservation of momentum and angular momentum. These principles are fundamental to our understanding of motion and have been extensively validated through centuries of scientific inquiry. The book leverages these principles to propose a novel method of propulsion that does not rely on the expulsion of mass, which is a groundbreaking shift from traditional propulsion systems. So basically, that's saying uh, this guy has created Star Trek. So here's chapter one. Just kind of talks about what we're doing now and why it's not great. Then here is chapter two. I think I just blew past it. No, we're still here. Still in chapter one. Where's chapter two? Yeah, here's chapter two. And then chapter two goes into like what it is. And I'm not 100% sure you're gonna get it by the end of chapter two. Like I read it, and I mean it's what it is. It's how you do it, but it gets a little confusing. But then chapter three is how you build it. That's the model. Spoiler alert. It kind of shows you all the different steps, and there's a program that kind of gets you through it. Shows you, a picture of it working in my jacuzzi and at a YMCA pool. Just kind of talks about the math of it and kind of walks you through it. Here's the dimensions, so you can, I mean, this is not complicated to build yourself. I mean, I'm going to put the STLs online, but I mean, an STL, by the way, is a 3D model. So if I take this picture here and I load it into one of my programs, I can print it out with a 3D printer. So there's really nothing to it. So these are just the dimensions. You can figure this shit out on your own. Make sure you put this little whip here because that's the important thing. But yeah, that's kind of it there. And here's a program that kind of walks you through how to figure out what it's going to do. And then that's it. So that was chapter three. Now we're into chapter four. It talks about like how to put it into stuff, which you guys are going to figure that out on your own. Like what stuff to put it into. Where it's usable. Like what's the point of this? Is to stick it in these things, right? So I'm just blasting through this stuff. If you want the book, you can find it. This is about scaling it up, making it bigger, better, faster, stronger. The $6 million build. Mine were like $6 builds, so I imagine somebody else might want to spend a bit more money. This is actually how it moves in space. Obviously, I have not tried this in outer space as of yet, but yeah, I'd like to try because I think it really will work. Then we kind of, do some cool stuff here. And if you ever get to the book, I'm not going to go too much into this, but we kind of, go into here. Chapter nine's nice because it kind of recaps everything, goes through like how to do it again. So it's just a nice recap. And then the addendum, I just go back over all the stuff you're going to need to kind of put in there. It's no big deal. And I copied the program down here again, so you just copy and paste that and put it into Python. And then here's, some more models that you can build with like the 3D layouts, and here's pictures of them and all kinds of shit. And so that's kind of, don't worry about this one right now. That one's crazy. We're actually going to start with this model here. Okay, so this is the first one I built. And if you find my stuff on um, online, this is the basic one that I. So if you find my stuff online, you're going to find this layout. This is like the most straightforward one. And when I first started talking about this idea, I came up with the idea of a rail gun. So what these things are right on the right hand side, you got tape on the one on the left. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Go a little bit more. So, and shift that over. So you see that coil right there? Okay, that thing right there is just a levitation coil, and it's basically acting like a rail gun. It's going to shoot this magnet that's down here off of that and just kind of move it around. Let me show you the video on this. Let's close the book here for a second and bring up the video and just kind of show you how it works. We'll just run this one. And this is before I actually had it automated. And I mean, it looks like, some kind of terrorist plot, but as you can see, it fires off. Well, it did, and now it didn't. Okay, let me find a better one. Let's see. There we go. Okay, notice the initial recoil, like pushes it away, then it comes through the arc and it moves around faster, right? So it comes here and this magnet here pulls it in harder. And as you can see, each step makes it move a little bit closer. Now this isn't, I mean, it is propulsion, but it can easily be explained away with friction and all this other stuff. The friction's holding it in place and keeping it from doing this. But um, uh, that will all be kind of like explained later on. So you've seen kind of what the idea is, and then like later on, I figure out how to. Let me see if I can find the one where I figured out how to make it work on its own. Yeah, there we go. So now I got it hooked up to like an Arduino. Okay, so problem with this design is those freaking coils heat up so bad it just melts everything after a few minutes of operation. So this does kind of do what I wanted it to do with the idea, but it's actually, I don't know, I changed the design up later, you'll see. But this is the general concept. So you get the initial push, right, which is, you know, the coil right here pushes this off and causes the platform to move. Oh, see, it's already melting. It's just too hot. Piece of shit. But it was my first attempt, so I was able to kind of get it up and moving. And let's see, what's this one? Yeah, this is just lovely. So yeah, this I had to scrub because it really wasn't doing what I wanted to do. Um, and so the next one I created, let's see, what is this? Oh, not that one yet. Sorry, spoiler alert. There we go. So this is the next one I created. Momentum propulsion. Where's the one that's, there we go. So it was this one. So this sucker here. And don't forget about the 3D printing stuff that's printing up here. I was doing something else. See it? So this is the one that I knew I had figured it out, right? Because it was doing that weird robot walk thing that you've seen him do before, but um, and this isn't actually the right direction. This is going in the wrong direction. but that's just because of its what do you call it? Um, the way it's laying. I'll show you that in the videos later. But where's the other one? So that was that one. So that's the one that you'll see on water in a little bit. But let me find it working better because that's the one that you really got to understand what is going on. So momenta, this is the one. So watch this sucker. This one's great. Okay. So it's that little flip at the end that is kind of making this thing happen. Um, as stupid as that sounds, um, that little extra kick is what moves it. You can see it's almost identical to that green machine, and the green machine does kind of work. It just would take forever to get anywhere. But this thing, I was like, holy monkey. So, and keep in mind, like I said, this is supposed to go in the opposite direction. And when you see it on water, you'll see what I mean. Okay, so after I figured this one out, let me stop this shit. Just let it play. There we go. See? See how it's working? These things on the side there are just magnets. Yeah, see those magnets sticking out there? So yeah, this is the one you want to build. This is the build in the book. Because let me show you why. So the very next thing I do is once I figured out that's the good one, I decide, you know what, let me open up YouTube. 'Cause that's just what we got to do here. And let me add this to here, window capture, and okie dokie. And so let's go to, I know. All right, so let's go here, content, come on, sir, playlists. Actually, just go to my channel. That's right here. Go to playlists and go to closed loop pulse propulsion, and there they all are. So, um, but that wasn't the one I wanted. Okay, so yeah, so this is the one I want you to watch. So this is my I'm gonna have a link to this in the what do you call it description of the video. But this is my uh, playlist. So this has all the videos of all the different things I wanted to show you. So I have a bunch more, obviously, but these are the ones I uploaded. And anything that says must watch, I mean, I recommend you watch it because that's kind of the idea. So this is one of the must watch ones. Okay, and I like this one a lot because it shows it working in my sweet hot tub. And as you can see, I pushed it away, and now it's coming back at me. And now I push it away again. Okay. Unless that thing's bouncing off the other side and coming back, what you're watching is impossible. Which is not, because I'll show you in a second. I push it away and then I lift it up, but you can see it's not hitting the other side. And you can see it's coming towards us. And you can see the direction of travel is opposite of what we saw in that other video, which it's because of the aspect of the device. If you place it higher and make it more level, it will go. Yeah, see? mean, how weird is this that this thing is actually capable of moving? But anyway, that extra little kick I put into it, by the way, is turning it to the side. So I decided to stop it and push it back into the middle, and just kind of like stop it in place. And so I just kind of stopped it. Now, one of the things that actually worried me about this was I didn't know if maybe, and this is not supposed to be the case, but if maybe the ripples on the thing were causing some kind of like bounce back, force pushing it away. But I mean, that makes no sense. Okay, so for some reason I stop it here and then start to get on the next one. But you can see it's already starting to get a little bit farther away on the left-hand side. There's the other half of the video. Okay, so now I pull it back, I stop it, I leave it alone, right? Make sure it's stopped. Right, so that's not supposed to be moving. That's supposed to just kind of sit there. In my book, by the way, it kind of details exactly what is happening, like each step, like you can figure out why it's doing what and where. Boom, baby. Fuck, fucking did it. Okay, and here is the same thing on. Oh shit, that's loud. Here's the same thing on a pool at the local YMCA. You can see it's literally just packing foam, and that device is just set on top of it. I'm not doing anything stupid. You don't see any paddles or there's nothing in there that's blowing water making this thing move. And you can see that I've got it kind of set up on the top because I was trying to get it to go. Like this rudder is behind it, and so I wanted it to kind of like go backwards and just kind of like turn around. Um, but I eventually get it to go in the right direction. Well, not in the right direction, but in the direction of yeah, here's the one. I mean, you can see it's moving. It's doing exactly the same movement that it did before. It's just this time it's going in a different direction because I changed the aspect of the device. So it's kind of laying. See, I pulled the sheet to where it's kind of laying how it was on the table. So it's a little bit of a different thing. And I'm a terrible videographer. So I was able to actually find the cameras that I at the plot at the Y here, and so you can kind of watch the whole video. Um, you know, I speeded it up because this is just boring. It's shit. Um, so playback speed 2 times, and so you can see what it's doing. I'm not doing anything weird. It is moving, right? And it's not great because, like I said, it's not aerodynamically correct. But this thing should just be sitting there on the water, not just not moving away from the wall. Because when I set it in the water, I just set it in the water, and you can see it's a full pool noodle away from where it started, right? And that's why I changed the aspect again. This one's the cool one because you can actually see it kind of do the first turn, and then it kind of, that's weird. Slow mo's freaking out. I don't know why that stopped. Anyway, so you get the idea. So, um, yeah, there we go. So it made one turn, and then it's going to do it again. It's going to move a little bit forward, and you can see it's going out of its XY position. It shouldn't be moving at all. Um, so anyway, that's the Y videos, and then if we come down here, there's another must watch video. Um, oh, this is a completely different design. Oh, let me shut the speed down. So this is a completely different design. Yeah, this is a completely different design. So this is what I call gravity assistant. So I got that one done, and I switched over to a different kind because I was trying to get the patent on this, and I wanted to make sure I had models for all the different ways you can achieve this effect using mechanical means, obviously. Um, uh, so yeah, so I came up with this concept, um, and it's as stupid as it looks. It's basically just a solenoid, which is like a door release for your car door, and it kicks this arm up, and that's it, right? And then you put a little bit of weight on it, which is these magnets here, and it makes it move harder and faster, right? And then like I'm testing it out with different weights, you know. This slow mo one is fun. I actually enjoyed this one. So it's nuts. This is a good one to watch, but this might actually be the yeah. This is the slow mo. Boom. Do it. Hear that? Boom. See, you could see the movement. Like that's why I put the ruler up there. You can see it, right? And then it's gonna kick like. It's just cool. Watch it. Bam. Yeah. So anyway, that's the gravity propulsion. So this is where I learned how to do a MOSFET button. I was so excited. I've been wanting to do that for years. Um, but then I got that on, you know, here, and then I was able to actually put some weight on there. You got to watch this one; it's crazy. But there's actually one that's even better. Here's the proof of work. They can push these things. Yeah, but there's the track. So there's this tractor pull one that I really want you to see. This one is just nuts. And I'm not gonna. Yeah, let me see if I can show you just a shot of what it's pushing and see if you believe it or not. There's actually another one on top of that. So here's the question: can that impossible piece of shit push this stack of bolts that weighs, I don't know, probably 10 times as much as this thing? So you got to watch this one. It's just absolutely great. But then I was able to kind of get things rolling. And here you notice I've got a stop on the bottom of it. Okay, so that's not really straight up rolling. Okay, it's cheating, right? If I take that off, this thing is just going back and forth. So I haven't figured it out, but you know, it felt like an accomplishment. And I got this one to do the same thing. And all I did was 3D print you know, a stupid base. Like it's not great. Um, But then I changed the gravity prop to this design, which this one is just phenomenal. You'll see that later. So I kick it up with this. I spin the wheel. Right, you'll see it here in a second. Let me get going. See, look how down that is. And yet, there you go. It's kicking forward a little bit. Right? So that was the idea there. Clearly, if this is a 3D printing instructional video, the stringing is out of control. So, um, let's see, there's no recoil. Okay, you can see I got that thing off underneath there. That's not working. Okay, it just jumps up and down. That's what it normally should do. That's what you should be looking at. Is just nothing, right? That's what closed. That's what physics says should happen. That thing should just do nothing, right? But it doesn't. See, it's kind of moving away, and it kind of gets better and better. Oh, I'll show you Hillbilly MacGyver. I don't know if anybody deserves a award for just the biggest piece of shit ever created by humankind, but that is literally just nonsense. I mean, it moves. And what I was trying to do is I was trying to get this thing to go up higher from hitting it here because I'm absolutely terrible at fabricating things. I just learned how to do this shit. Um, so then I redesigned it. No. Yeah, I did that one and I raised up the thing a little bit and it really didn't do what I wanted to do. Making it roll. Yeah. That one's just a lunatic. Uh-huh. See it? It's just not right. But I got it to roll, you know what I mean? I was able to make it kind of roll. Not yet, but yeah, let's get it done. Hey, it's going forward inch by inch. It's inchworming. See, which is cool. Not supposed to be doing that. Then I take this whole piece of shit and I set it on a broken piece of shit and I make both pieces of shit roll. Which oh, and look at my hair. Like I'm trying to go for the Einstein Award, not in physics, just with hair. So clearly this needs some fix. Oh, there we go. I fixed it. But as you can see, it's rolling down the road. Not supposed to do that. So after I kind of did all that shit, and I figured it all out, I went to this design, and this is my new baby. Let's see if I can. Well, let's just go down here. So let's just a minute and 15 seconds to prove to you that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So this is what physics said should happen, just rocking back and forth, right? Shouldn't move anywhere. No matter what you do, this thing should not move anywhere. Should not go forward, should not go backwards, should not go up or down, left or right, just right where it's at. It could spin, but it can't go forward. And as you can see, I put that thing up on the top there. It makes it move a lot better. Oh, wait. What's this? Uh-huh. Yeah, son of a bitch. It's leaping off the table. One of those jumps is over 100 millimeters. It's freaking crazy. It was that last one. It was over 100 millimeters. So you can see. So that's why I've kind of lost my mind on this stuff because, according to, the laws of physics, none of this shit should be working, um, kind of at all. It's supposed to just be sitting there doing nothing, and it is not. So, uh, in the back of the book, there's different designs that we got. This was the one that had the, um, let's see here. Yeah, so this one uses like springs to kind of, this arm flopped back and forth. These magnets hold it here, gives it extra kick, and when it kind of kicks in, it pulls in, stopping it here. So you just wham, wham. So that one's kind of cool. That's the one that you get to build in the book. That's the same one as this one, just with two arms, right? So this one's a nice, cool one. There's that one that was, you press there's my MOSFET button. See? And if you ever need to figure out how to do a MOSFET button, I am now capable of not explaining it very well. Here's one I created. It's the same thing as this one. It's just, it's the whole system in a child's toy thing. Here's the two arms grab prop. It's almost the same thing as this one, just with two of these things. That's the one that you see in the slow-mo video. Here's that first no recoil one. I mean, it does have a recoil. It's just it's caused by the servo hitting the arm, not. And then here's this one. And if you need the link to the videos, you just come here and copy this, and paste it into your YouTube. That's your thing. And so yeah, here's a copy of that one. So, and that's it. So yeah, so that's closed loop pulse propulsion. I know I didn't really get into kind of how it works, but if you go online, you'll find. Let's see. Let me show you. If you go to closedlooppulsepropulsion.com, here's my site. Right. I'm going to be adding a bunch more on here, but if you click on this, it takes you right to a chat. Oh wait, that's the wrong thing. Sorry. Get rid of the book. There we go. There we go. Sorry. So let me go back over this. So if you go to closedlooppulsepropulsion.com, here's my site right here. So you just go here and you can click on the link here, and it'll take you to a chat that explains exactly how to do it. Walks you right through everything. Okay. I'm going to have chat to everything else. So this is going to be the major hub for all the information. But right now, and I put it on Democratic Underground for a reason, because I wanted it to be able to be searched by chat. But I knew that if I just had it on like some obscure site, they would never do it. So I put it on the Democratic Underground, and it got a bunch of views, and that created a bunch of connections to it. And so whenever you do a search, so let's say I do a search for closed loop pulse propulsion, right? It's going to search under Bing, and it's going to come with, here's my post, like right up there. Comes with some links to the book, so you can buy the book, online. But if you just click on this, right, here is where I posted kind of how to do it. Like, here's that video that you hopefully have seen by now. It's just, now this is just a quick, remember the one in the pool, so this is just a quick 15 seconds of it, but it shows you that it's working, kind of thing. And then so I kind of come down here and like, just to show people that AI doesn't believe this right off the bat. It says, is it possible to do this? And AI is like, no. And I ask it, well, like, what's your final thoughts on it? And it says, well, it's probably a hoax. It says, given the current understanding of physics and the lack of experimental validation, it's highly likely the concept of closed-loop pulse propulsion is not feasible. It either represents a misunderstanding of physical principles, or at worst, is a deliberate hoax. So AI is saying I am hoaxing it. But then, I come down here and well, this is actually a glow script. This is kind of cool. So you're going to want to check that out. That's a nice one. But anyway, so you can, and here's some other ones. You click on this, and here's the other things that you can kind of like see that I've been doing. Um, yeah. So these are the different models you can kind of go through, and that again, that's access from inside here. Like here's the link to the videos. Here's the link to my journal. Here's the link to closedlooppulsepropulsion.com. Here's the link to a skeptical AI, and I kind of force it to be very skeptical and argue with me. And then here's what I have AI write for me in the book. Like I have it actually write the foreword, so it can kind of go through that. And then here's some asshole who just likes heckling me for some reason. But I created an AI assistant. So if you click on this here, and go to closed loop pulse propulsion physicist, and it's okay, so what is this and how does it work? All it's going to talk about is closed loop pulse propulsion, theoretically. Oh, there we go. So it's going to walk you through everything. It's going to talk to you. It's going to, like, if you have questions about closed loop pulse propulsion, how to do it, how to, whatever, this thing will get you no matter what level you're at. So if you don't know anything about physics, it will walk you through it. If you know everything about physics, this will walk you through it. So it's got all of my data learned into it. So it should get you to the right point without too much trouble. Here's another chat. This one is kind of I don't go into the skepticism of it. I just go into exactly what is this. So this literally tells you precisely what it is and goes through each step and just belabors the shit out of it, step by step by step by step by step by step by step. So you know exactly what is going on, and there's just nothing else to it. And then there's one more chat, which is the white paper chat. So this is me kind of building a white paper for it. And it does go through a moment of skepticism, which was I was able to kind of back down really quickly. It's down here. It says, it kind of goes back into its own, well, this can't work kind of mentality, and you have to kind of argue it back into a state of mind where it can. So this is, my concept, I guess you call it. And the book is closed loop, pulse propulsion, if I can get that out or explain it. So let's get this here. So the name of the book is Closed Loop Pulse Propulsion. The name of the website is closedlooppulsepropulsion.com. Hopefully I've given you enough of a background to kind of get you started into figuring out what this is and how to use it. Again, I'm not really going into the physics of all of this stuff here, because you can figure that out on your own. You can kind of see it all working and take the time. But everything that you need should be either on a Democratic Underground, eventually on closedlooppulsepropulsion.com, or if you can find a copy of my book, just go ahead and get that, and it should walk you through it step by step. And look at those videos online. You can copy any of that stuff and figure out how to do it, and see that this actually functions.